morning and welcome to another Sunday reset. I have an exercise for you guys today. Something that I did a couple years ago that has stuck with me, was really meaningful and really impactful. And I thought, just with the stress of the election coming up, it was a good time to bring it back, kind of talk about it again. So I was invited a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, to either find a color or let that color find me. A color that made me feel very much at peace, a color that made me just feel content and that all was well. And the invitation came with just an opportunity to close your eyes and think of a time maybe when you yourself felt very much at peace, felt those things. Maybe it's when you're traveling on vacation, we just kind of slow down, right? Or maybe after you've had a really great afternoon with a friend, you just kind of feel recharged, but also just like, all is well. Could be the afterglow after just being intimate with your partner. Whatever that looks like for you, just a time where you felt very much at peace and content. And just see what comes to your mind's eye, what color comes to your mind's eye. It may be, for a lot of people that did this, it was colors connected to nature. So for some for a lot of us, it was colors with sunrise or sunset. For some, it was colors related to water or the sky. I remember one woman, hers was the color of sea glass, or like the Caribbean, right? Colors in the Caribbean, the turquoises, or the greens of Ireland. Whatever that looks like, it's different for everybody. And color has power. Color has energy, right? It's light waves. And those waves have energy. Sometimes colors can be a soothing energy. Sometimes it can be an energetic energy. Energetic energy, that seems redundant, doesn't it? But a more forceful energy. There's a reason that we paint our bedrooms in shades of muted blues and greens, for instance, or that yellow is seen as a happy color, or that red is used so often in fast food signage because it's an action color. It grabs people's attention, right? So think of what that looks like for you, and maybe it'll come to you fairly quickly. Maybe it'll take a few days, maybe even longer, but see what comes forward for you. What color really gives you that sense of peace, that sense of contentment, that all is well. Something that's really powerful when you're feeling stressed, especially if you're feeling stressed about the election, when you have your color, close your eyes and imagine that it's just washing over you, that's soothing, calming, peaceful color that gives you content, a sense of contentment, and that all is well. Let that wash over you mentally and see how you feel afterwards. I feel like just warm and rosy afterwards. Like, okay, yes, I'm just calmer. There's two parts to that. So one is finding your color. The second one then is naming it. And I thought that was really fun, actually. When you name it, when you see it, not only will you have the visual identification, but you'll have a name in your mind. You'll have a word identification that just also prompts more connection, right? And I'll share my own example at the end, but that was another layer that gave me a lot of joy, finding the name for my color. And I've found, once I had my color identified, I started incorporating that more into our home. It was included in the background of the wallpaper on my phone. more in my wardrobe or in just accessories that I use, just like planners, day-to-day things like that, a candle, just little things, little reminders to help me feel more at peace. So with my specific color, I'll show you here, but it's a peachy pink that I found, that I see in sunrise and sunset. And for me, I was walking the dog and saw it. I was just like, oh, yep, there it is. That's it. And it was interesting. Just a few weeks before that, I was on a quest to find the perfect lipstick for me. Which I don't know why that was such an important thing at that time, but it was. And I knew that over time I found, okay, so I want like a peachy pink, but then it was finding the right shade of peachy pink. Coincidentally, that the lipstick that I ultimately chose was the same color as what I saw in the sky that day. So it's just the synchronicities of it sometimes really are just interesting, right? When it came to naming my color, I thought, okay, when I see this peachy pink, I feel peace at play. That's how I defined it. And then I was like, well, the abbreviation for that, or the acronym for that, would be PAP. I don't want PAP. That makes me think of pap smear. Like, no, not the greatest association. But then I thought, well, what if I did PAPPY? It'd be like peace at play and happy. And that resonated. And also, when we first did this exercise, shortly before that, my grandma and my grandpa had passed away within a week of each other. And I never called my grandpa Bob Pappy, but just knowing that it's a term of endearment for a lot of grandfathers gave me a smile. And my grandpa Bob was great at being playful, at taking the time to play. And I think that did give him a lightheartedness, a peacefulness about him. And so it was just another reminder and just another way of meaning and power in using this tool. So I would love to hear what color has found its way to you, what you have chosen, and if you named it, what you named it, and if this just how this affected you. You know, a lot of people, like I know another woman, it was like a smoky lavender from a winter moonrise, a color, with that. So it can be any and everything. Some people are more grounded in neutrals, but it's a color that's going to make you feel not just at peace, but a contentment, a quiet joy, right? Let me know in the comments again what you find, what your color is, and if you find this helpful, please share it. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you can find more of our Sunday resets. I do them every week, and I'll see you next week for another one. Thanks, guys. Bye.